Hey Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great today. So we're going to be doing your end of December read for money, career. Oh, I said money. My palm got itchy. Either money, career, right? Because again, not everybody's working. So any kind of financial circumstance that you might be dealing with. And then we're going to go to relationships. I'm going to do for relationship though, I'm going to be doing a read like I did a couple of weeks ago where it was like I did a spread for you and then a spread for an energy that you're dealing with. That's really going to be for everybody. It could be for if you're in a committed relationship, complicated, or even single. I'm not really going to be working the astrology in too much because it confuses some people, which I know, and for that I apologize. But I'm going to be doing a separate full video on the full moon in Cancer for the end of the month. I think this is going to be a really good full moon. And I'm thinking about working in the astrology for the next 6 months as well, right? Just kind of like squishing it all in there. And then I think I'm just going to do monthlies, like one monthly to talk about the astrology. And then we'll just keep the energies about the tarot and the in-between. Somebody's starting a new cycle when it comes to career. Yep, that's what I see. Definitely. Okay, Jackie just said, right? What did I just say? I'm not going to talk about the astrology. Okay, but for those of you in business, you may be meeting a new partnership, having a new, because the full moon is going to be happening on your 7th and 1st house axis. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to save it for the other video. Okay. Yeah, I know, because a lot of people are like, oh, these houses and all this, that. I'm like, all right. No Capricorns make those comments, though. You guys generally like the additional information, but not everybody does. Okay. So let's see what is happening here. I like that we have a new cycle and taking a chance, and we have the 4-leaf clover and all about creativity. Oh my goodness, this is fabulous. I'm liking it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you this. Okay, so Uranus is going to be sextiling your 5th house. So you're going to be getting some sort of gift, some sort of surprise, or you're going to just be really tapping into your creativity, a creative approach to something. Something that you've been doing for fun, you're now going to be able to actually make money at. Whatever it is, you're going to be able to tap into something that's really going to be able to utilize your creativity. And I mean, like, just like that inner child, that thing that makes you feel good kind of thing, right? And then it incites this new cycle. We got 2 stalks. Yay. We have a new cycle definitely hitting up here, having to do with your career. We have the stalks working with the fish. So there's money. So whatever is coming in, fish is money. It's recognizing that what you have right now, deal with what you have right now. It's not like a bag of gold is going to be at the end of your bed when you wake up, the next day kind of thing. Working with what you have now. The message here is you have more than enough to work with what you have now. Your skill set, your money. Think 2nd house energies. Second house energies are things that you value. It has to do with money, your self-esteem, you feeling like you're more than enough. You can do this kind of thing. If you can tap into that while you incite this new cycle, it's going to go really, really well. What I love here is that the cycle is followed by the compass, which is like, okay, what is your true north? What is it? And you know what it is? It's about unlocking the potential that is still hanging in you. And I don't care how successful you are right now. This can have to do with very much like a project that you've always wanted to do, or a business that you always wanted to start, or something that you always wanted to do. You being able to think about it and act on it in a new and different way. Again, creativity, we already addressed this with the child energy. These are 2 beautiful cards to get together, right? Yes, absolutely. And then we have this working with the clover, which is all about fortunate circumstances being presented to you. There's fortunate. Now, something is going to come across your lap that's going to be very fortunate for you. There might be an argument. So for those of you where this is not dealing with actual career, a job at all, but maybe what you're realizing is that If you have a lawsuit going, it's entered into that next stage. There's new information that's going to be revealed. Things are going to be handled in a new way moving forward. It's going to be very benefic, but there's going to be a little arguing going on there. Because the whip energy, you could be starting the argument or they could be. It doesn't really play into this one way or the other. It's just part of the experience. And then we have this taking a chance. And whatever you're going to take a chance in doing is going to end up bringing you a very solid foundation with the anchor. So I really like this. Let's pull some clarifiers on this. Where am I? Okay, wild unknown. I wanted to use these. Yeah, so just generally speaking, having to do with investments, guys. Okay, those of you who are investors, having to do with the stock market, right? Because you want to think about, when I do the money and career, I think second house, eighth house energies is what I focus on. And, you know, meanwhile, I promised, I said I wasn't going to do houses. It's important that you guys understand this, though. The second house is the money that we bring ourselves. It's our self-esteem. It's what we value. It's what we bring ourselves. It's the food that we put in our mouth that we value. It's the roof over our head that we value. It's all of that, right? It's our investments that we value, right? And what we own. But the eighth house is the money that comes from those investments. It's money from other people. It's insurance payouts. It's any sort of legal cases being settled. It's inheritance. It's the stock market. It's the sale of a home. It's anything like that. So what I'm seeing here is, for those of you who are investing, this looks like really good energy for investing. Some very benefic energy. You're going to try a strategy that maybe is a little risky, but it's going to go well. A little creative, but you're going to do it. It's going to be very, very, very benefic for you. But if you're dealing with somebody else having to do with this investment, they may not agree with you. You may end up in some sort of argument. So this could have to do with, no, I don't want to sell the house, or I don't want to sell the business, or no, don't, you know, maybe your broker saying, no, don't sell that stock, whatever it is, however it can work out for you. This could also have to do with you just approaching your career from a much more creative space. But there's going to be this surprise, this beautiful energy coming into that fifth house. Let's talk about him. There could be some surprise child as well. Not for nothing, but when, boom, you're pregnant. Okay, but we're not going to go there. Just fifth house is children, just saying. So we have the Three of Pentacles. Fabulous. Mars and Capricorn. Yep. Putting the work in, doing what you have to do. I love this. Teamwork, collaboration, focusing on your skill, focusing on strategy here. Wheel of Fortune. Good fortune, turning point. Gambling, though. We have two gambling energies here, meaning taking a chance. Some of you may quite literally be gambling. You could be. I said there's a gift coming in the fifth house. The fifth house is gambling, so you could be doing that. I'm not pushing you to do that, but if you're into doing that, it is a good energy, fortune energy for that. Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, though. So whatever you're getting into, whatever you're doing, whatever risk you're taking, whatever new strategy you are implementing is going to go really well. Is what I'm seeing. Yeah. Look at this. We get the Eight of Cups, right? Clarifying this, true north, right? It's something that you have to really look at. You're leaving something behind. You're withdrawing, you're retreating, you're moving on. You're abandoning an idea. You're abandoning, and that sounds so serious, but you're changing course for yourself in how you're handling something, be it within your career, an investment strategies, what it is that you were going to do. You're changing something, and it's going to end up going well for you, I feel like. Then we have this Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this can indicate a new job for some of you, some sort of new opportunity, hope returning. This could also be a new investment in a home or property, guys. So those of you who are in that space, so it's like you're abandoning one idea and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to buy this home, I'm going to make this investment, I'm going to do, having to do with that. So we have this creativity that's inciting this new cycle. Look at this. We got the Magician, focus, creativity, turning visions into reality. This is beautiful. And the Magician energy is Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So there's a lot of problem solving that's going on here through communication that's going to just make a circumstance that you're involved with regarding money healthier. Because Virgo, which is the sixth house, it rules our health, mental, physical, and emotional. It also rules the day-to-day work environment. People that we work with and for, our daily experience at work, or daily experience in general. So I see things happening for, oh my goodness, I just love it. Yay, the sun. This is a beautiful energy of material happiness. Just a fantastic outcome. Capricorn, honestly, you have, energetically speaking, you have everything that you need to make something happen for you. Everything is here. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to work at it, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to strategize, but you're going to have everything that you need. Now we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about internal entrapment, self-imposed isolation, self-imposed imprisonment. You might be fighting with yourself with this whip energy. Something so good could be coming in, and because it's a shocking surprise. Uranus comes in, and you might be like, I don't know if I could trust it. You could end up in an internal argument with the whip energy as well. But this is like, I'm not sure if this is the right thing. Like, it's an energy of questioning. Could also be you realizing that something that seemed to make sense for you at one point no longer makes sense for you. Whether it's a career choice, a path, investing in something. Maybe you're making the decision to totally, change your investments up, restructure your portfolio, for those of you who are in that space. Maybe you had a change of heart as far as maybe following through with a lawsuit. Or maybe you had a change of heart and you're deciding to sue somebody. And you're kind of fighting with yourself. But, we have this working with the the Six of Wands. This is the card of victory. Good news coming in that equates to success. Yeah. All right, so your past has something to do with what's going on here. Because we have the Six of Cups in the upright. And then we have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is about rivalry, challenges, sort of like, I'm saying this first is because this is kind of like a battle of the wells, right? Like somebody's ego is getting in the way, but it does seem like there's some sort of situation with the past, because the Six of Cups is a really good energy. It's nostalgic, right? It's reunion energy. So it's going back to something to do. So maybe it's going back to something that you wanted to do once upon a time, or it could be returning to a job, maybe a situation that you were involved in at one point, returning to a home, deciding to sell it. If there's some sort of inheritance situation, you're making this decision to sell, but there might be like a disagreement on how to handle it. There could be any sort of discord around it, but it's a minor arcana. It's not a big deal. It's a battle of the wells, and nobody's winning here. You know what I mean? Nobody's winning. Nobody's winning, really. So really, it's best to, because also understand that with the Six of Cups energy comes a gift. There's always this idea of this gift coming in from the past. So just understand that whatever it is that you're trying to sort of weed out or figure out, settle up from the past leading up to this energy, there might be a little bit of battle of the wells, but I don't see it being a big deal. And don't not engage because you don't want the conflict. Not that you would, but I don't know. Maybe you're a Libra rising. Libra rising doesn't like conflict. They like fairness. And if they know it's not going to be fair, they have some analysis paralysis, right? So don't allow that. Definitely so face everything head on. Okay. So that's what we have for your career, more money situation. Now let's go on to our relationship read. So we're going to start, the first layer of the relationship read is going to be for you and where you're at in the relationship. Okay, but first I'm just going to pull some general energies. It doesn't matter what style relationship you're in. I'd love to do singles every time and complicated every time and married every time. So I know, I do get a lot of positive feedback from those, but I just literally, there's not enough time in the day for me to do that. And career and with money, because that does, especially the days we're in right now, And not everybody's in relationship, and not everybody's employed, you know. So I try to spread it out throughout the month. I hope you guys appreciate my perhaps sad attempt at trying to do that, depending on how you resonate with the messages. So let's see what's happening. Oh, never-ending story, Capricorn. Come on now. You're at a fork in the road. But truth be told, there's got to be honesty here. Soulmate energy. Soulmate energy can just mean that you guys are in the space where you're just needing to learn a lot of lessons, but there's a fork in the road. You're in this position right now in your relationship space where if you're single, you're like, I cannot be single anymore. Not because I can't, because I don't want to be single anymore, right? And you saying to yourself, you know, this is it. I want to meet my soulmate. I need to just like enter a relationship honestly and with openness and integrity, because I don't want to keep having the same old nonsense happen over and over again. For others of you, you may be in a fork in the road where maybe you guys are in a weird space. You know, it could be complicated. Whether you are together, not together anymore, it doesn't matter. But what really needs to be looked at here is the soulmate and the soulmate energy and the truth be told energy, because when we have these two together, it's all about lessons. What lesson needed to be learned? Because the lesson has to be learned, because we can't have this. The never-ending story is just like, oh my God, how many times are we going to break up and get back together and break up and then, you know, hate each other for a minute and then be crazy about each other and miss each other and then get back and you know, or it could even just be you and this person haven't even been together, but you just can't get them off of your soul. And sometimes the beginning of that process is simply saying, I was with that person because I needed to learn A, B, and C, even though maybe I didn't really need to learn it, but apparently Spirit knew I needed to learn it. And that needs to be looked at. And a decision needs to be made, though. There needs to be a decision in relationship. Some of you guys may have met somebody new that you're very attracted to, who might be a little immature, but there is this sexual energy and you're keeping it to yourself right now. Maybe you're not doing anything with them, maybe you are, but you're not talking about it right now. And so that could be part of the fork in the road, is should I or shouldn't I? Like, what, you know, what should happen here? We have the Eight of Wands energy for the soulmates working with the King of Swords. Now, the Eight of Wands is a very beautiful energy. It's about really good news coming in that incites almost frenetic kind of change. You know, it's like, what are we doing? Let's get back together. Let's move in together. Let's get married. Let's have a baby. Let's just, the hell with everything. Let's just do this, right? But then we have this King of Swords energy, which is taking emotion completely out of it and just staying very sort of in the mental realm and just being very strategic and intentional with thoughts, with words, with communication. So while we have the fiery energy here, there's some sort of strategizing. So I don't know if we can trust this energy, Capricorn, keeping it real. Because this could be somebody who is, this is like the energy of some lip service going on here right now. But let's see what else we have. So we have the truth be told. What do we have? Truth be told, Two of Coins. So the truth is, somebody's weighing options here. Somebody has choices, and that is the truth of a situation. And then we have that working with the Eight of Swords, self-imposed isolation, imprisonment. I'm really not sure. So this may be you feeling like unsure if you even belong in this situation anymore. You know, maybe you're the one who's weighing options, or your partner's weighing options, and you're like, what am I doing? Why am I even in this? Others of you who are single, you might be weighing different options, and you just might be in this space of feeling like, no, none of them are right. You know, none of them are right, but you might still have this other past energy on your soul here. We have the never-ending story, clarifying that. We have the Five of Swords, never-ending story with the abusive kind of energy, manipulative, gaslighting, deflection, bullying kind of mentality. That's what Five of Swords is. But it's also, you know, what are you guys arguing about? You're arguing, will things ever be any different going into the future? You know, it's a Venus and Aquarius energy. So it's Venus having to do with like love and how you feel about something. And then Aquarius is unique and different and out of the box. It's the future because it's ruled by Uranus. So is anything going to be any different going into the future? Then we have the Temperance energy, which is about balance and harmony and being patient and really trying to exercise some self-control and some moderation. So what happens here is this is the cycle, Capricorn, right? It's like the arguing and then, okay, what do we all need here? Let's balance this out. And then the arguing and then, okay, what do we need to do? So some of you who are single, this was your past experience and you have no desire to get back on that crazy train again. Some of you are realizing that you're in a long-term situation and this is like this sort of energy that you're having a hard time getting out of, right? Because it almost becomes this weird kind of web, right? You pull away from each other energetically and then you sort of try to look at things with clarity and then you miss each other and you come back together and you're like, you can see so clearly what needs to go on. But then when the energies start getting enmeshed and the past starts coming in, even though you don't want to go back to the past and all this stuff, it starts to get sticky and mucky. And then that's where the cycle comes in, right? All right, let's see what's going on. A little more detail for our Capricorn friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Please make sure you check all of your signs, guys, for the most complete message. Okay, with the moon crossed by the tower, so you're in your feels. Something is over. You see these? Okay, so from your perspective, as far as relationships go, we have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is you're just trying to like rest and recover from something. And you're trying to figure out what you need in relationship. What do you need in order to have a healthy relationship and have success in relationship? What have you learned in the past that you should keep? And what have you learned in the past that you should throw away? But there is definitely this sort of hunkering down and sort of going within energy. Very internal. Another internal energy is the moon, right? The moon is first of all, the moon in astrology, even though in astrology it rules Cancer, which is the fourth house of home, of feeling safe, secure. You know, it's also the stories that we tell ourselves, though. It's something about the past. And but it's also connected to Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, which tells me there's some confusion going on here. So you're feeling things inside of yourself, but you're trying to almost like categorize or file your emotions in a more organized way. But we can often have a real challenge with that when it comes to the moon energy, right? Because it's water. Our emotions are water. And how do you contain water in like one little neat little package? It's not easy. It's just not easy. But we have what's challenging you here is the Tower, which is a complete and painful ending here. Change, ruin, something coming down. Now, for some of you, this could be you experienced this in a relationship or a relationship was over. And some of you are still dealing with, because here you could be healing from the Tower energy, but this is still in your way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in your way of being able to, sometimes circumstances are so big in our lives that time needs to soften them up so that it could spread out the experience for us emotionally so that we can process. That makes sense to you. So this is what I'm getting here. This could have been a relationship. This could just, that happened already, that's happening now, falling apart. For many of you, though, because it is with the moon, many of you may be really just sort of reorganizing and restructuring your mental processes in the way that you understand things should be, And that's going to be the case for many of you. But there is going to be, look, I said, I'm not going to deal with this stuff, but there is going to be a lot of healing in this energy, right? Because we do have Chiron and Mars. We have this squaring this full moon in Cancer, and you have this happening in the 4th house. So there's so much healing that's going to end up going on as far as your past and your foundation and you feeling safe and secure in relationship. Now, right now, the best that can be achieved in the circumstances, and keep in mind, this is only for the end of December, we have the 4 of Cups energy, and the 4 of Cups is feeling just very apathetic, just very unfulfilled. Some of you may feel very unfulfilled right now in your relationships. You're in this space of I always call this the checklist card. I can't be with them because they do this, this, and this, and I definitely can't be with them because they do this, this, and that. And you definitely being right in that space, that's right where you are right now. You want to make sure, when I always say this with the 4 of Cups energy, pay attention to how it is that they're making you feel. And I know that sounds silly. It's like, well, if they speak to you negatively, obviously you're going to feel badly. I don't mean that. I mean, go dig a little deeper. What is this? What did the past experience, if this happened in the past, or what is this current energy? What is it bringing up in you? Don't suppress it. Really bring it up to look at it. The reason for this reading for you, we have the 9 of Wands. So I'm getting that a lot of you still have fire in your belly left for a connection, fire in your belly left for a relationship. You don't want to be alone, but you have boundaries. There's an element of self-protect here. There's no question. Now, you and only you right now, you have the death energy. So the death energy, this is Scorpio. This is about big changes. Time to move on from something. It's time to rebirth yourself. Transform yourself in relationship. This is you and only you. So again, this kind of is another, that tower really could be happening within you, where you're just like, I'm realizing what I don't want anymore and what I do want, what's going to be very beneficial for me and what's not so beneficial for me. And the thing is too, with this, your partnership house is going to be so illuminated because of this full moon happening in your 7th house of partnerships. And what's coming in to help is that 1st house energy, the house of self, and who's hanging out in that 1st house along with the sun, but Pluto and Mercury, where it's like, come on, we're going to change. We're going to do some changing here. We're going to change up how we do things. Complete alignment with the astrology. So glad I keep saying that. I'm not going to bring it up. But we have the Queen of Swords here, which is all about truth. Now, this is the external influence affecting you. External. This is not you. So there's some sort of truth surrounding you, or this could be an individual who is, first of all, very self-sufficient, but very, very honest. So this could even be a friend. This could be you meeting somebody new. Somebody who's very self-sufficient, very honest, very articulate, because it's Wands. Very intuitive too, right? The Queen of Swords, she has you figured out as soon as you walk in the room. You don't even have to open your mouth. But that's the energy surrounding you that's affecting you. It's like an external influence that's happening. So it's almost though, if it's not a person, right, who's coming in to remind you of the truth of a situation, you just sort of feel it intuitively. You're sort of surrounded by it. Now, in your hopes and your fears, we have the 2 of Wands, and I get it. I mean, this is Mars and Aries energy. It's all about waiting for the results, or waiting for somebody to make a choice, waiting for yourself to make a choice, waiting. It is this idea of waiting. So you might be waiting on somebody to get in touch with you, or you may be waiting to contact somebody, or you may be waiting to hear back from somebody online. It's what you're hoping for, but at the same time, many of you may be fearing this. Because the 2 of Wands is also this decision where it's like, okay, come on, let's do this. Fresh path, new perspective, woo, let's go. Some of you may be in this space, if you're married, and your marriage is really not in a good space, and you're feeling very unfulfilled and apathetic about it, and your partner is not willing to actually put in the hard work other than to say, let's go on a date, or let's do A, B, and C, and but not really want to address the issues. Some of you may be afraid of that, right? Because then it's like, how do you navigate that when they're making an effort, but your heart's not in it, right? So some of you are going to be experiencing it that way. But others of you, the first way that I mentioned. Now let's see the near future. We have the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords is all about self-protection. Really protecting yourself, drawing a line in the sand. I mean, this is, 100% just like, it's like 7 of Swords. did I say wands? I meant swords anyway. But Seven of Swords, you're going to be in a space of very much needing to protect yourself, because you're going to be dealing with some sort of dishonest behavior, some sort of betrayal is going to be looked at. There's going to be this idea of running away. Now, for some of you, explain how this could show up. Let's say you're in a situation where you're living with somebody and you know you want to move out, but you can't right now because you have to get your ducks in a row. The Seven of Swords can show up as a mask energy, where you're wearing a mask. Just, it's like not biting your nose off to spite your face. Trying to be a team player, going along with the situation until you can actually pull the trigger on something. Somebody may also be doing this to you in relationship. Some of you may be in such a deep mode of self-protection, though, and you're being dishonest with yourself and running away from commitment because you're so scared. That's going to resonate, obviously, with some of you who are either in a complicated or in a single situation. And then others of you could just be dealing with somebody who's just super nasty, somebody who's just like let's look at the energy of thievery, like somebody who betrays, So you may be dealing with that in a situation, but we have the final outcome card as the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety, nightmares, grief, depression, You guys know I always call this the 3 a.m. card. It's like ruminating thoughts, ruminating. So that's what we have. Not an easy energy for those of you who resonated with it, for sure. I'm sorry I couldn't have better messages, but perhaps it's slightly validating for somebody going through that. Now let's see from a subjective point of view what's going on with this energy that you're dealing with. I suspect we're going to be dealing with some deflection here in the subjective read. Somebody who doesn't want to own their stuff. Lovers. So, wow. You know what? I almost want to apologize here, because this is such an amazing spread for the person that you're dealing with. So I want to just front load this with either you're dealing with a flat out narcissist where they absolutely don't see their stuff and they feel like they could just come in and say a couple of sweet words and fix everything. It's a little bit of love bombing. Or this is somebody who is totally moving on. Okay, because we have, let's look at the past first. We have death and rebirth. So the death and rebirth is obviously big changes, right? And this is their perspective of energy. Now, if you're single, this is a good read, because this does indicate that they're, well, you'll say, hold on, meaning somebody new. But this does indicate big changes for them reaching an end in a situation, feeling that it was time for them to move on, rebirth, transform. Okay. But now we have the situation right now. We have the Lovers that's being complemented by the Sun. I mean, it's Gemini energy. The Lovers is really the core of this energy is about needing to make a decision, make a choice. You guys going to work it out or you not? Whether you just met somebody, are you guys going to do this? Are you going to work at it together? You guys getting back together after having been apart? Are you going to work at it together? Are you going to work the marriage together? Is everybody's got to be on the same page with the Lover's energy. And then you get the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the luminary of the Sun. Plus, you got the Sun complementing you, which is amazing. Sun is a beautiful energy. It's about material happiness and an awesome outcome. It's giving you everything that you need, or giving them everything that they need to make something work. So I see some of you, if you've been broken up, it does seem like they're moving into something that's like this. Others, and you're going to know which story it is, but whatever energy you're dealing with, if you guys are single, you are meeting somebody who's very ready to meet you. Okay? But there's a lot that's been gone through here. I do have to say, because we have the World energies, the best that can be achieved in the circumstances, and this is about completion. The World is the completion of a lesson. And it's successfully moving forward to receive many, many blessings. Just to open up. And we have the reason for the reading from their perspective is we get the Knight of Cups. This is Prince Charming, Princess Charming. I mean, it seems like somebody there was an ending, somebody learned a lesson, they want to work this out, they feel like they have everything that it takes, and they want to come in and offer this proposal. Let's try it again, let's get married, let's move in together, let's get engaged, let's have a baby, let's just find each other again, let's go to therapy, let's whatever, fill in the blank. That for those of you who are together. For those of you meeting somebody new, it seems like they learned many things in a past relationship, and now they're just open to having this new sort of strategy and relationship. And I say that in a kind way. But this is what I see. And now where they're at right now is Ace of Pentacles. So they might literally be dealing with the new job or raise some sort of new investment, new income. They may be focused on that. But having to do with the relationship, Pentacles is associated with mental, physical, and emotional connection. So and we have Ace. So this is all about new. So it's some sort of, okay, I'm going to give this a couple of ways. Those of you who know that your partner has moved on, this does indicate a new connection. It's very interesting because they're still scared. Very funny. This does indicate a new connection because it's an ace. The ace is brand new. Others of you, though, and you're going to know if this resonates with you, if part of your issue had to do with money, and like, you know, when are we going to move in together? When are we going to get married? When are we going to have a baby? When are we going to buy that business? When are we going to, you know, whatever it is, that would even, let's go on vacation. Well, I don't know who's going on vacation, but you know what I mean. And so whatever would require money here, them being in a space where they feel like they have the resources that they need that maybe were lacking before, that got in the way of the relationship, that seems to have been resolved here, at least in their mind, where they're feeling good about it. Some sort of new strategy, some sort of new job, some sort of new opportunity, or there's this new willingness, right? Now, the external influencing them that's affecting them is the Queen of Cups, which is nurturing, healing, supportive, beautiful. You know, this is Gemini and Cancer. This is about communicating. This is somebody who communicates about what they need, you know, to feel safe and secure and grounded. This is a beautiful, communicative, intelligent, secure energy is influencing them. So if you guys are brand new to each other, I mean, this is how they're looking at you. If you guys have been together and you've been so patient, as you know, you guys are patient. I don't know what else is in your own personal chart, but you guys are the sea goats, very patient. You know, you guys are ruled by Saturn, of course. It's time, it's Chronos, right? Them recognizing how patient you've been with them. But then we have the Eight of Wands, which is interesting because this is in their hope or fear, right? So it's like they're hoping for this positive message to come in that incites some, you know, movement forward, but yet they're fearing it. But this is an energy of strong foundation, of really moving things forward in a very pragmatic way. So I don't know if they're afraid to call you, but they're hoping you call them. But then we have the near future energy, which is the Ace of Cups. I mean, the Ace of Cups is new marriage, new proposal of something. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new baby. This could be a new investment. Anything that speaks to your heart space. Something new there. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is one of the marriage cards, the honeymoon card, strong foundation card. It's you guys coming together and realizing that you want to do this together, right? Two of Wands is getting the proposal. Come on, let's go do this. Three of Wands is, all right, let's leave the past behind us. Let's go and build this future for ourselves. New path, new perspective. Four of Wands is, yeah, let's throw our roots down here. This is where they're at. So what the hell is going on here? Pardon my swear. Let me just pull some oracles here. What's going on? So we have first the sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation. Truth is something coming out. Then we have the Eight of Cups, walking away, withdrawing, retreating, moving on, abandoning a situation because, you know, there's this realization that I'm not going to get what I need here kind of thing. Moving on from a particular situation, that's with sadness but no regret, knowing that you would just never have the relationship that you ultimately wanted. Know whether they were doing this or you were doing this, but the clarity and the truth of this is revealed. And we have the dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapting, changing, and healing. It's working with the Page of Cups, new energy coming in. New love. You're finding out about a new love, new relationship. Heart with the key, welcoming love, meeting the one. Open your heart, getting together perfect. We have the strength energy, which is Leo. Leo is all about falling in love, romance. The act of sex. Okay. We have the Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. Ace of Pentacles. That's right. New connection. Ace. Brand new. Mental, physical, emotional connection. Then we have Camera, though. Reminiscing, keepsake, perception from the perception, learning from the past, making memories. Two of Swords. Interesting. Interesting, because the Two of Swords is the need to make a decision and it being a time to compromise. And the reason why I think it's interesting is because the Camera, I always feel a very world energy to it, because it's this learning from the past. That is the World's card. The World card is completing a lesson and learning what needed to be learned. But then I have them that there's a cross-purpose energy here, time to compromise and make a decision. So I feel like you guys were together, you weren't together. There was a lot of pain involved here. I don't feel like you guys are on the same page as far as perception regarding what actually happened in the relationship. Like your subjective understandings are very different. Yeah. Capricorn, right now I see you as the Hermit, the Three of Cups, and the Six of Swords, which is good. The Hermit is a problem-solving energy. This is about going within for clarity, being on a quest for your personal truth, spiritual illumination, going it alone for a minute, hanging with your friends, being surrounded by a supportive energy. Because there's definitely, within this very short time frame at the end of the month, there is a necessary transition going on here. And the need to move away from something that was toxic. So that is what I have for you guys. So let me just pull a final heart energies. It's coming up for Capricorn. It's coming up for Capricorn. Wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. One more. Romance. Cupid's arrow is striking. Romance is coming in, Capricorn. So it seems like you're doing transitioning in the soul arena there. And somebody that you are involved with or were involved with, they have a very different understanding of the relationship. It does seem like than you do. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy your holiday season, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.